Once upon a time, Battle Through the Heavens stood at the very top of the Chinese animation industry. Known to many by its other name, Fights Break Sphere, it became a cultural phenomenon, a true milestone that proved Chinese donghua could rival even Japanese anime when crafted with passion and precision. For countless fans, the memory of Xiao Yan's legendary 3-year agreement was etched into their hearts. That battle was not just a fight, it was a declaration of youth, passion, and determination. At its peak, this donghua carried an astonishing rating of 9.5 points, an achievement that crowned it as the light of Chinese animation. But today, the glory of Dou Qi Continent is fading. The very animation that once lifted an entire industry is now facing its darkest moment. Ratings have collapsed, the official social account was brutally banned, and most shocking of all, even the original author, Tian Can Tu Dou, openly criticized the production team in a live broadcast. So how did a masterpiece that once carried the hopes of millions fall so far? Let us carefully retrace the path of Battle Through the Heavens, from its initial struggles to its legendary rise, and finally to its current heartbreaking decline. In the very beginning, things weren't smooth. The first season of Battle Through the Heavens carried with it the weight of a massive fan base. The original web novel had already become a phenomenon, and readers rushed in with high expectations. Yet the adaptation was rough. The character models were criticized for being stiff and lifeless. Movements felt unnatural, the battles lacked impact, and the production simply did not live up to the glory of the story it was adapting. But then came the turning point. The production was handed over to Huanwei Digital, and with them came a miracle. 3 special episodes were produced, each one crafted with far greater care and respect for the source material. These episodes turned the tide completely. Audiences who had once mocked the adaptation now stood in awe. And then the 3-year agreement arc arrived. The duel between Xiao Yan and Nalan Yanran became a defining moment, not just in the story, but in the history of Chinese animation. The tension, the choreography, the faithfulness to the original novel. Everything combined into a scene so powerful that it ignited a wildfire of passion across the fan base. Viewers who had once abandoned the series returned, and new fans poured in by the millions. Battle Through the Heavens had not only saved itself, it had climbed to the very peak of the donghua world. Tencent Video, recognizing its power, officially declared it one of their national comic 3D annual series, standing proudly alongside Dou Dalu. For years, the two were known as the Double Dou annual series, 2 giants of Chinese animation that promised to carry the industry forward. But glory, it seems, cannot last forever. Since episode 41 of the annual series, fans began noticing small but troubling cracks. At first, they were subtle. The models seemed a little too familiar. Background characters started looking oddly similar. And then the jokes began. Fans sarcastically nicknamed it Familiar Sky, mocking the heavy recycling of models. This wasn't just limited to side characters. Even important figures like Yao Lao, Xiao Yixian, and Yun Yun suffered from obvious flaws in their designs. Years passed and these flaws remained unfixed. For an industry where improvement is expected season after season, this was deeply disappointing. The battle animations, once the pride of the series, also began to falter. In place of polished combat effects came rough, hastily drawn energy lines. Fans accused the studio of cutting corners, of prioritizing cost-saving over quality. But even then, some loyal viewers endured. They said, "It's fine, as long as the story stays true to the original." Unfortunately, the greatest wound came not from visuals, but from the plot itself. The so-called magic changes of the storyline broke the hearts of countless fans. The most notorious example came with the handling of Xiao Xiao. In the original novel, her bond with Xiao Yan as father and daughter was one of the most touching relationships in the series. Yet in the animation, she was reduced to a near-mute presence, her very identity blurred, her role stripped of the emotional weight it carried. Viewers were left asking, was she even Xiao Yan's daughter anymore? And then came a change that many considered unforgivable. The wedding between Xiao Yan and Queen Medusa was erased completely. In its place, the two were rewritten as sworn siblings. Fans could only laugh bitterly, joking that the story had gone from a wedding night to sworn brotherhood. The emotional depth, The romance, the fire, it was all gone. As if that wasn't enough, the introduction of powerful characters was handled with shocking carelessness. The Earth Scorpion, a mighty warrior at the peak of Dou Qi, appeared with modeling so crude that fans mistook him for a nameless extra. His appearance became a meme across the community, a symbol of just how far the production quality had fallen. At last, even the original author, Tian Can Tu Dou, could no longer stay silent. In a rare live broadcast, he expressed his pain and frustration. His words were sharp but filled with helplessness. "I don't want to scold anymore," he said. "It's useless to be disappointed in the quality of the animation. Isn't a good work supposed to be polished in its details? Is it really so hard not to just recycle the same models to save money?" What shocked fans even more was his revelation that the production had actually regressed, falling not just short of progress, but back by more than 10 years. He admitted that the models of recent episodes look no better than animations from a decade ago. And the most heartbreaking confession of all, Tudou has no control. In his early years, he had little awareness of copyright value. He sold the rights to Battle Through the Heavens at a bargain price, not even earning as much as he makes from a single month's royalties today. Now, even as the creator of this vast and beloved world, he cannot see the scripts in advance. He cannot make changes. He discovers the content at the same time as the fans. The author who created Dou Qi Continent has been reduced to nothing more than a spectator. Meanwhile, the production team's response, or rather, their lack of response, has only fueled the fire. Instead of addressing criticism, they mostly remain silent, playing dead, as fans say. Rumors spread that funding has been prioritized for projects like the Battle of the Two Emperors and the Medicine Master Special, while the main annual series is treated with less importance. To fans, this is an unforgivable betrayal. The result is a collapse of trust. Once, fans cheered for every new announcement. Now they groan with every episode release, fearing what beloved moment might be ruined next. The ratings speak for themselves, from a shining 9.5 to a heartbreaking 5.8. Some voices are even calling for the show to be pulled from platforms entirely and remade from scratch. Others beg Tudou to take back the copyright, or at least to personally supervise the adaptation. But Tudou admits this is no longer possible. He can only watch, powerless, as the world he built with sweat and tears is mishandled before millions of eyes. And yet, despite all this, the fans remain. Why? Because Battle Through the Heavens is not just a story, it is a memory of youth. For so many, Xiao Yan's struggles reflected their own. His perseverance, his rise from humiliation to glory, his burning determination to never give up. These were more than just plot lines. They were inspiration. That is why fans feel both anger and sorrow. On one hand, they cannot forgive the fallen quality, the careless changes, the betrayal of the source. On the other hand, they cannot abandon this IP that once lit up their lives. They still cling to hope, however faint, that in its final chapters, the animation might recover some of its lost brilliance. But the truth is harsh. With new donghua like Mortal and Renegade Immortal rising, audiences now have choices. And if Battle Through the Heavens cannot rediscover its original passion, it may soon lose its crown completely. The ban of the official account, the helpless anger of Tian Can Tu Dou, these are not isolated incidents. They are symptoms of a much deeper disease. The clash between commercial profit and creative ideals, the mistakes of early copyright decisions, and the arrogance of ignoring the voices of the fans. Perhaps when the dust finally settles, Dou Qi Continent will remain forever glorious, but only in memory. Because when passion disappears and trust collapses, no amount of special effects or funding can restore the fire that once made millions of hearts burn. No matter what the future holds, one truth remains. The love of the fans has never disappeared. It is this love that still keeps discussions alive, that still pushes people to hope, and that still makes us remember why we fell in love with this story in the first place. What about you? Do you still believe this legendary donghua can recover, or has it already reached the point of no return? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rise and fall of Battle Through the Heavens, Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future content on Chinese animation, hidden controversies, and untold stories. Thank you for watching, and until next time, may your fighting spirit never extinguish.